Hello ladies and gentlemen, we got another mod video right coming up, so make sure you look at all these mods because some of them are pretty awesome. It's a bit of a list, so let's check them out. So firstly is a very simple mod. This is the Better Idle Pose. Now this guy's made a few mods on the actual Nexus website for Oblivion, and this pretty much what it does is completely changes female idle pose for any of the female characters and the play character as well. So as you can see, she's now got a bit more swagger to her, and she's actually putting her hand on her hip instead of it just being pretty much just stood there looking boring. Now actually one of her left legs is actually slightly angled, so she looks a bit more feminine. And as you can see, when you are playing in the world, your character will do it every time the player character stops. And I'm pretty sure this applies to NPCs throughout the world as well. So we're going to show you a comparison between vanilla and the mod. So as you can see, the vanilla, she's kind of stood there looking bored as hell, and now with the mod she's got a bit more swagger to her. So it's a very cool little addition to Oblivion. Now this is an absolutely massive player home. This is the Windermir Manor by MT. So pretty much this includes a massive manor player home located on the far right corner of the map. Now as you can see, it's absolutely huge from the outside, and the exterior has a lot of objects going for it. So you've got two spires in the back right corner, you've got a stables and two of these little actual structures here with an actual statue located just in the center of one of them, and a bit of floral located just on the ground there. It looks very awesome, kind of reminds me of the Imperial City, the aesthetics going for. But yeah, very cool and very, I could say, Roman and Greek themed here with the actual spires and the actual structures just located in the exterior. The actual location is pretty large. As you can see, this is the actual manor itself located just on top of a hill, which is slightly annoying because it's kind of actually going up vertically on a hill, which I think it would probably be better if it was a bit on more flat land. But other than that, the actual mod is pretty incredible. You can see two spires located on the left here and also on the right, which are pretty much also added in by this mod. So it's got this whole exterior here where the actual statue is and these two structures, and it's very cool. Like I said, it reminds me of the Imperial City with the aesthetics going for, and it's very cool. Kind of reminds me like any Greek or Roman architecture. I know obviously that's in Oblivion anyways, but it's kind of nice, a little addition to the actual play home itself. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look in the actual inside of the actual mod itself, and we're going to show you all of the locations located just inside of the actual manor itself here. So this is one of the main rooms here. As soon as you enter the building on the left, this is kind of just like a little area, and this is just pretty much where you can store stuff. And you've also got another shrine or statue located at the back here. We'll go to that door later and I'll show you exactly where that door takes you. But you've got a lot of display cases here where you can display any of your armor or weapons. Completely up to you what you want to do. Obviously there's already objects in here, so you can take them for your liking. And then the actual master bedroom. I do really like the green look to this. It kind of stands out and it does pop. I do like the green and brown colours they're going for. And obviously the glazed window just located at the back of the bed here, which looks absolutely awesome. So yeah, you've actually got an actual bathtub located just behind one of the actual walls here, where you can actually wash the character, but you can't do that in game yet. But sadly, yeah. But yeah, other than that, the actual master bedroom or the player's bedroom is pretty cool, and it's got like nice little additions to it, and it's very well detailed. So bravo to the actual mod author, because this bedroom looks absolutely incredible. You've got a bookshelf here, and then obviously your enchantment tables here where you can enchant and create any spells that you want to. And this is the actual fireplace, which looks quite cozy. So yeah, an extremely detailed mod itself, and there's more display cases where you can actually display any of your favourite items inside of the master bedroom. There's also a table located at the back here, which is kind of where you can write letters and obviously collect any of your coin. Now we're going to show you the actual basement itself, and this is pretty much the armory, and you've obviously got a training quarters here, and then obviously this back room here has pretty much a nice cool little water fountain. I feel like that kind of looks like a nursery, but I don't actually know. But it looks absolutely incredible anyway. So that's the actual armory. And in one of the back rooms, you actually got a bar with its own little tavern area. And you can see there's a lot of wine behind the actual display cases. And you've also got like a medieval pool table, which is kind of cool. I've never seen that before in Skyrim Oblivion. But yeah, a nice little Oblivion pool table. And then a chilling out room just located at the very top with a lot of wine. Now, an absolutely awesome armor mod by the NCO. This is Raph Plate. Now, this is obviously available for both female and male characters. I'm showing this off on a female character, and this is a whole completely new standalone armor mod. The NCO actually does make standalone armor mods, and you can actually get this in one of the stores, which you can find out in the description below. Overall, a very cool mod, and I've got to say, I feel like I've seen this armor before somewhere. I don't know if it's the helmet, But yeah, the actual armor looks pretty incredible, and I do like that it does not replace anything. Getting it to work is slightly finicky because you have to obviously edit your plugins text, but obviously once you've done that, you can actually get this armor to work. It's not very shiny though, so I don't know if they're going to bring a bit more shiny to the metal pieces, or this is how it is intended. Overall, a very cool armor mod. The actual texture quality on this is absolutely incredible, and it also comes with its own shield, which looks pretty goddamn awesome. I've got to say that for sure. So if you do like shields, make sure you grab this one because it's a pretty awesome armor mod that you definitely need to check out. Now, another standard armor mod the NCO has created, this is Sylvan Sentinel, and it's also got compatibility with the MBO actual mod as well, which is pretty cool. So if you do use MBO, this will be compatible for that. It's an only female armor mod, obviously, because of the way it looks. I don't think it'll look quite right on a dude. But yeah, slightly revealing. The butt cheeks are hanging out the back there. And yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Zelda or something. I don't know, but it looks very awesome. Texture quality is absolutely 100% top-notch textures. And yeah, it pretty much does fit quite well into Oblivion. It's a bit more fantasy and a bit more cartoonish, I've got to say, but it does look pretty incredible and looks absolutely awesome on a female character. Especially if you want to play as some kind of archer or an elf character, this would go quite well with that kind of character. So yeah, if you do kind of like skimpy mods, this should be right up your alley because her butt cheeks are definitely hanging out the back there. So very awesome mod by the NCO because he does absolutely awesome standalone on mods. Now, the MBO armor mod that I've shown previously in one of my other mod videos now has another version just for males. Now, pretty much the exact same mod, but it's just for a male character. So obviously this applies to the NPCs as well, so NPCs will obviously have this included with their bodies. So when you kill an NPC and take the clothes off, it will fully remove their underwear too, and they will have a willy. So as you can see, you can fully change the character, make his pecs bigger, make his chest bigger, and you can pretty much just create an absolute monstrosity of a character. So you can pretty much just look like an absolute tank or a really skinny dude. So you can pretty much just fully customize your player character to the way you like it. So obviously in Oblivion, you cannot really change your character's body at all. But now with this mod, you can fully change his legs, his arms, his chest, and his butt. And obviously the one that everyone's been waiting for is Willie. So as you can see, you can pretty much completely change everything and create an absolute monster of a character, or make an absolutely chad character. So my character right now looks like an absolutely abomination. Look at the state of this dude. As you can see, obviously you can actually see your penis, and you can actually increase the size of it or make it smaller. And it actually has its own physics, which is kind of cool. So you actually have penis physics. So that's why you definitely need to download this. So your penis sways away in the wind. This armor mod is absolutely unreal. It's the Imperial style Ebony Armor by Jazza. Make sure you download these other two mods shown right on screen. Bing bang bosh. And once you've got those two downloaded, you want to make sure you get this mod also. So it looks absolutely astounding, and it pretty much can either replace the Ebony Armor or the Bruce Emilian Armor as well. So it completely changes one of those types of armors depending on which one you want to choose. But you're very cool and a very awesome armor mod that looks so well made, and it fits so well into Oblivion. It looks absolutely incredible, and I definitely will be keeping this in my mod list. And for female characters, it looks so much better. So I'm using this on a female character, and it just looks so good. So yeah, it's very, very well detailed and very well made and put together. So I think this is actually a combination of different armors slapped in one. But yeah, very cool and very detailed. So make sure you grab this one because I will definitely be keeping this in my mod list. Absolutely astounding armor mod. That looks absolutely incredible. So make sure you check it out because it's fucking awesome. So do you want a mod that completely changes the exterior of the Imperial City, the bridge itself, and pretty much the lands located just outside of the bridge? Well, I've got you covered with this mod. As you can see, it completely changes the bridge just for the better. So as you can see, there's a lot more objects and there's a lot more actual architecture on the bridge itself, and it looks absolutely astounding. It pretty much adds a lot more objects on the bridge, and the bridge is a lot more bulky, and it's got a lot more actual structures on top of it. So you've got actual horses and carriage. Then located just outside the actual area of the bridge, you've got boats here and actual ships. Sadly, there is no NPCs in this area, but the mod author is actually planning on doing that and giving them only daily routines, just like in normal Oblivion. So there's a lot more NPCs located on the bridge because it's kind of like a little bustling town just located outside the Imperial City. In the actual bridge itself, you've got this nice little interior cozy bit, and you can actually go into either watchtower depending on which one you want to choose. You can either go on the left or the right watchtower, and it just looks absolutely astounding. So pretty much right near the actual entrance of the Imperial City itself is completely changed, and you've got a lot more structures, and it looks a bit more cramped and actually a lot larger. Instead of obviously on the vanilla one, there wasn't much going for it on the bridge. It was quite empty, and there's a couple of actual structures, but it was nothing incredible, nothing insane. And located just outside the bridge itself, you've got an actual little town with actual enterable buildings, which is the tavern, and there's a lot more buildings located in this area, but obviously you cannot enter them as of for now. But in the future, the mod author is actually planning on giving these actual interiors actual spaces with actual NPCs, homes and stuff like that. But as you can see, it pretty much includes a nice little town and located just outside of the actual bridge itself. And yeah, very cool little addition to the actual Imperial City. So it kind of reminds me of JK Skyrim in Skyrim mods for on the Nexus, where it completely changed the exterior of some cities. Pretty much this is kind of very similar to that. But it's a very early days mod, and obviously there is not really much else to it. But the actual mod author will be planning to update this in the future. So I can't actually wait to see what this mod holds in the future. So yeah, it's going to look absolutely incredible the more updates it gets. And I can't wait for the little NPCs that are going to be running around this area, and the actual enterable exteriors and interiors. So it's going to look absolutely incredible, and I can't actually wait for more updates with this mod. As you can see, you've got a nice little port located just on the actual outside of the bridge itself as well, which is obviously included in the mod, and it just looks absolutely incredible. So make sure you check this out, because it completely revamps and changes the actual bridge section and gives it a nice little town for new NPCs to actually go into and yeah, just chill out in this town. So a very awesome mod, and like I said, I cannot wait for the more updates for this, because it's going to look absolutely astounding. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's the actual mods that I found this week that are pretty awesome. There's about 7 mods that look absolutely astounding that you definitely need to grab. The actual mods this week were very slow. There wasn't that many as there was last week. But yeah, overall, very cool mods. Make sure you all check them out, because they're absolutely fucking astounding, you little cocksuckers. I'll see you in the next one. Adios, bitches.